السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. مرحبا. Hello everyone. So welcome back to our lectures. So today we are going to be finishing all of the QC tools, the quality control tools, the popular ones. And the last one we are going to take today is KAIZEN. Usually I don't take KAIZEN, but I decided to introduce it because it is being used in many different places in Bahrain, or even outside Bahrain. So I thought that it's a good idea to add it to the course. So yes, so that is Kaizen, what we're going to be taking today. Next, we are going to start with ISO, the ISO standards, and that will also be very interesting. ISO is very important because wherever you go in Bahrain or outside Bahrain, you will always hear about ISO and its applications in many different sectors. So you need to know what is ISO, what are the standards of ISO, and all the details of that. So for today, we are going to take the concept of Kaizen. Okay, so what is Kaizen? Kaizen is a Japanese word, as you can see here. And the guy who came up with it is called Imai. Okay, he's called Imai. And he came up with he used to work with management theories. So he brought together various management theories, philosophies, and tools that have been popular in Japan. And he came with a single concept. He called it Kaizen. Okay, Kaizen. What does Kaizen mean? Kaizen means continuous improvement. It simply means continuous improvement, but the philosophy of it means continuous improvement involving everybody. Continuous improvement involving everybody. And it comes from two different words, the KAIZEN. KAIZEN. Zen means good, I think so. Okay, it's here. So the term Kaizen from the Japanese words comes from Kai. Kai means change. And where is Zen? Zen يعني Zen. Okay, and I thought that it is very close. Zen means for the better, for the better. So we are changing for the better, changing for the better. Kaizen. Okay, Kaizen. Change for the better. So that is the word, and it means that we continuously improve, we gradually improve. So it signifies constant and gradual improvement. The whole idea is that you don't need to do a lot of any improvements, or you need to do a very big improvement to show that you are changing towards the better. Only a gradual improvement is enough. And we all know the saying قليل دائم خير من كثير منقطع. Okay, so and that's what it simply means. So a gradual improvement which is continuous is better than doing big humps of improvements from time to time. So gradual improvement, that is the idea. Okay, beautiful. Now, we already said that part of the philosophy is that it's not only the word of gradual improvements or changing for the better, but it should be taking place all the time in every process involving everyone. So that is the word here, involving everyone. So everyone within the company, he could introduce these changes and standardize it. Okay, so the idea is that the changes happen and they standardize it. So you're trying to make these changes as simple. When we said everyone, that means it could go as deep or as detailed to the simplest kind of action and process within the organization. So I'm not talking about changing big thing like the training management plan, the strategic directions of the company. We are not talking about that. We are talking about very simple tasks, and we are going to see example of that. So here it is very crowded. I think so. That was from last time. I should have went to an older version. Whatever, inshallah, you will gain from whatever is written there. So Kaizen system includes total employee involvement, starting with the top management. We already said that, right? Everyone is involved. Empowering people, because everyone is involved, you need to empower them to make the changes for better. Okay, so we need to give them the power to make things, to make them better. Of course, you listen to them. You need to listen to everyone. If you don't listen to them, how will you introduce the changes? And the concept here is that the people who are working on the place, on that place, they could have more ideas of how to solve the problem. So if you listen to them, you will know how to solve the problem. Again, as a manager, I don't know what's going inside the kitchen, for example, for a restaurant. Because I don't know what's going inside the kitchen, if I have a new idea of making things better, I need to listen to my employees. I shouldn't say that, la wallah, I'm a manager and he's a worker inside the restaurant and he doesn't know as much as I know. Well, he knows more than what you know in his place, and you know more. Okay, I think I'm back. I lost the connection. I don't know why. It's just decided to lose my connection. Uh, so back to where we are. So we were talking about listening to them, and if you see what examples that I have here, I have drawn from before. So this example here talks about what? Talks about one of the popular examples provided in several books I have read. And what is this? This example. This example shows that there's a fan. Okay, and when in this, before I say what is in the fan. So what happens is that it happened that in the supermarket we are having some packs. Okay, some packs are empty. Some of those packs are empty. And because these packs are empty, of course, if you take a 6-pack of whatever product and you find out one is empty, of course, you will not be pleased with that. And so if you go back and say that, well, we have 1 pack empty, how could we discover this? Now, going back from the supermarket to our factory discovers that sometimes one of the injections that fills the pack, it does not work for few seconds. So the 2 other packs are, for example, filled in, and this pack is not filled in. So what is the solution? The solution, and I'm not going to say the solution, but maybe you keep a person here looking at this pack continuously, standing here and looking that if one of them is not working. This is not practical at all for him to open his eyes 24/7 or whatever, 8 hours. It's not that good. Maybe you put a sensor here, and if you put a sensor, the sensor indicates that one of the packs is not working, and that is or it stopped. Sorry, one of the injection did not work and it stopped in filling in one of the packs. So that is a good idea, but this sensor, if it signals now how fast you're going to go and pick up this pack before it goes and patched to the supermarket. But that is an idea. It could be expensive, it could be not, it depends. So many ideas. And then the book came up with that this study was This problem was taken to the management, and the management discussed it for a few hours, and they took it to a second stage of implementation. It did not work, and then they called a consultant, and the consultant came to find out the solution for them. And the consult, of course, you just imagine how much time is spent here and there. What I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to say here is that there was a person, a worker, working at the factory, and he just suggested the simplest solution of all. And the simplest solution was what? Was to put a fan, just a fan. And this fan blows air, and if the pack is empty, it's going to fall off by itself. It's as simple as that. It was as simple as that. And here where, again, Kaizen is trying to prove that it's a powerful tool, that you always need to search for the simplest solutions. And you need to listen to everyone, the workers, the one who are working, because they can give you the easiest solutions as we would expect, beyond what you could expect. Okay, so, and that is why Kaizen, it promotes zero investment improvement. So putting a fan is like a zero investment improvement, rather than bringing a team of management, team of consultants, and so on. Focus on efforts rather than results in Kaizen evaluation and performance appraisal. So the word focus on efforts rather than results, the reason is that if you do not consider the efforts, you're going to lose your people. And if you lose your people, you're not empowering them, you will not have a good job. So you need also to concentrate or focus on efforts, not only the results, not only the results. And the example I can give you here is the second part of it here. And now you can see Yum Yum Tree. I gave this example like 2 years ago, and when I was talking about Yum Yum Tree is going to be shutting down, from those days, that was my expectation, and the reason for that is they changed the management. And it's not about changing the management, but I found out that the new management does not listen to the people. And I still remember when I used to go to the restaurant. Okay, so I'm the blue guy. Okay, so when I used to go to the restaurant, I still remember when I used to have a chat with these people here, and they had many different ideas. And the thing is that all of their ideas that come out, they were implemented, and they were simple. And the thing that I just wanted to say, that they were listened. And of course, because of their ideas and their improvements in Yum Yum Tree, they had plus and plus and plus in their salaries. Of course, when I talk about plus in salaries, it could be only 10 BD. But that 10 BD makes a difference for a person whose salary is just 120 BD, and he became 130 BD. Okay, it's a big percentage. It's like for a person who has a salary of 1,000, and then they give him a 100 more. Or if a person has 3,000 salary, they give him about 400 or 300 dinars more. So it's a big amount as a percentage. So what I'm trying to say, that these people were listened, and because they were listened and their efforts were considered, even if it had little difference. So I'm just saying an example that what I can see now, and Yum Yum Tree is closing in many different places. It's not because of Corona, it was before Corona. Definition of Kaizen. So we already know the definition of Kaizen: a selection of better means or better method for achieving an objective. It's change for the better, right? Change for the better. So I need to select the means to change for the better. And the idea is always an accumulation of small changes. قليل دائم, قليل دائم. So that is the idea, that we always have small changes. And of course, a corrective action under constraints. We need to put all our rules before we do our what? Before we do our implementation of the improvement actions. So we always need to consider that. Let's go to the next point. So Kaizen techniques. So what are the Kaizen techniques? It's very simple, straightforward. Identify the problem. After, what is the problem? Identify it, examine the problem. Examine the problem. That means if for example, we always have late delivery to the customer. Why? You examine the problem. Examine the problem. You look, for example, at the 4 M's. Maybe it's the man, the machine, the material, the method, and so on. You look at the variables that is around this problem, and then you find ideas to solve the problem. You put your proposal of solution, the selected proposal. You implement your solution. So it's a simple, straightforward technique, which also satisfies with the PDCA cycle, the plan, do, check, act cycle. So I think so that is straightforward. Now we come to the first example. Yani, the man cannot reach the toolbox on the shelf. He cannot reach the toolbox. So what are the multiple Kaizen ideas? Okay, that we always think simple, and we are trying to make things that have free investment, zero investment. So what is the solution? Okay, what is the solution of this guy? And I will open it to discussion. It's a simple example. So what is the solution for this guy for something that he always can access this toolbox without doing this move and jumping and so on? So yes, what do you have in mind? This is a cupboard مثلا. I don't know if this is a cupboard or not. I know it's a simple example, but I would like to hear solutions. صوت ثقيل شكله في رمضان ما يطلع. آخ يا ربي. Okay.
He can use a ladder.
You can use a ladder. طبعا use a ladder طبعا معناته what? You're going to put a ladder beside this thing here.
You can put a box or something.
Okay. حلو. البوك شنو انت بتقول بعد؟ واصل. So you can put a kind of a step. Okay, a kind of a step. اعتبر عشان انت تشقح فوق هاي. So you can step over it. حلو. So that is the simplest, and you can keep the step just beside this thing here. طبعا as simple as it is, يعني, as you said exactly, يعني. So it's not something that should be more complicated than that. Of course, you can use a ladder. The ladder could be maybe taking more space. Okay, so he can rip off the ladder easily than a step. So the ladder is not as efficient as the other one. Before we start, usually what do? We evaluate the problem. So the man is too short to reach the toolbox. So we identify that he's too short. So it's not about that. It is it's not about that the toolbox is only at the top, which is placed too high. It's also that the man is too short. So it's either bring this down, bring this toolbox down and keep it down there, or take this man up, which means that he needs to put a step to get up there. And then they analyze the problem. I'm just showing you the methodology of how they think. So the interaction here is between what? Is between the man and the toolbox. Okay, the problem is that the man cannot reach the toolbox, and this is the problem that we have here. And what we need to do, multiple Kaizen ideas from man's standpoint. Okay, from the man's standpoint, cannot reach. Of course, he's going to use a footstool, the step. From the toolbox standpoint view, place it at a lower shelf. And that is the footstool that you have think here, and that's all the solution. I know it's a simple, very simple example, but it's always good to take simplest examples just to make the idea clearer. For example, here we have another idea. A man broke a cup at a sink. So when he washes a cup, And this cup broke down. Of course, it broke because it fell. It fell from his hands. And when it fell from his hands, it got broken in the sink. Now, what ideas do you have? Before we talk about the ideas, just to evaluate the problem. So we have the man and the hands of the man. We have the cup. We have the sink. What else do we have? The sink, the cup, his hands, this man. So these are the 4 different variables that I can see here. Okay, so these are the 4 different variables. And why we are looking at the variables? Because we want to go to the simplest technique and solution. It could be this man, his hands, the cup, the sink, I don't know, something there. So what we can do as solutions, or one solution, so that the man does not break a cup at the sink when it falls down from his hands. Okay. So what idea do you have? What ideas do you have? Okay.
We can place a net.
We can place a net. Wow, حلوة. هاي ما كانت مكتوبة. Okay, I like that. So you can place a net below that. That is a brilliant idea. صراحة عجبتني. I liked it. And then, what then? You can place a net. What else do you have? Placing the net is something to do with the sink. Do you have something else to do with the cup?
Using plastic.
Using plastic cup. Hello. Do you have something to do with his hands?
Wearing gloves.
Wearing gloves. MashaAllah عليك. And then, so these are the 4 interaction: cup, man, way of washing, and sink. And these are the ذكرني باسمك. أنا ما أعرف من يشاركني. Ali. And then Ali mentioned that the cup, maybe it is easy to break, so have a plastic cup solution. A man which is careless, he should be cautioned, trained. The method, easy to slip, wear rubber gloves. A sink, solid surface, place a rubber mat. Instead of a rubber mat, you said that you're going to put a net. And maybe a net is a better idea as well. So you can see, mashallah, you already mentioned all the solutions that could be there. You could go into more details if you would like, يعني, and have Kaizen with cause and effect diagram, and where the cup breaks down, and why did it break, and then you're going to look at the 4 M's. It could be the man who's careless, the method, the way how he's washing, the material or the cup here. In this case, of course, you're not going to go through all of them, the man, material, machine, and method, because you don't have a machine here, but you would like to put the variables that you have stated, or the interaction of the components. And the components I have here was the sink and the cup and the man, of course. And so these are all the ones that are available here. So you can do more analysis if you would like. So very beautiful, the way how we used some little of the Kaizen steps. The Kaizen step is not only one technique, it's like a whole bunch of different techniques to get to this level of applying Kaizen. So Kaizen is like, this could be a 3-day course or a 5-day course. So imagine how much detailed information that you can have within Kaizen. 3 days, I think so, is good enough. 5 is too much. So Kaizen steps, the 3 popular steps, and there are other steps also. I mean, there is more than one technique. Eliminate, number 1. Reduce is number 2. Change. Okay, so use these 3 different techniques, and these techniques are very useful. It just makes things simple, easy for us of how to solve a problem. Okay, so sometimes you just eliminate something and the things become better. For example, if you eliminate the approval, I will give you an example. That's a complicated example, Annie, but it's not a complicated example, but it's not for a product. For example, for faculty members, me, Bassam Al-Hamal, to go to a conference to Singapore, for example. So what do I need to do? I need to take the approval of the department council. Department council are me, Dr. Shakir, Mohammed bin Shams, everyone in the department. Okay, so they sit together in this meeting. They have one of the items. They discuss. Dr. Bassam wants to go to this conference. Before that, I forgot something. I need to apply in a form, and this form goes to a committee. This committee has 3 people from the department. They discuss it. They agree. Maybe they take half an hour to discuss my matter, and then it goes to the department council. After it goes to the department council, it goes to the college council. After it goes to the college council, the dean and the faculty members, the head of the departments. After it goes from the college council, it goes out, it goes to the university, it goes to the VP for academic affairs. And after it goes to VP for academic affairs, it goes to the university council. After it goes to the university council, it goes back to the VP for administration and financial matters, and then it goes back to the university council. And then at the end of the day, you're going to find someone in the university council who said that this conference is not important, and he doesn't know anything about engineering because he's the dean of the arts, for example. So what I'm trying to say is that did you see how long is the process, and did you see how many approval stages? When I came as a quality assurance guy, one of the things that I worked to eliminate, I worked to eliminate, to stop everything at the college council, which means all what I have mentioned about VP and the university council, and then it goes to the VP again, and then it goes to the university council for final approval, and so on. I eliminated all of that process, and I just stopped it here. Eliminating this process saves 2 to 3 months. Okay, saves 2 to 3 months, at least 2 months. Okay, it saves 2 months. Here is about 1 month. Sometimes it takes more. Okay, sometimes it takes more than that. But if I say that is 1 plus 3 months, so it used to take 4 months. That is the minimal time for an approval for you to attend a conference. And at a conference which is you would like to go, or even after 4 months, you would like to go to that conference. Maybe you don't have time to go to that conference because you need to pay for the registration of the conference, which is also I'm back. Okay, I'm back. It happens. Internet, there's something wrong at my home today. So what I'm trying to say is that eliminate. Now, what can you say at eliminate? That the Kaizen steps, they explain to you the details of that elimination. So it means abolition. That means khair shar. You remove the thing that is not there. You discontinuous. You have, well, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to mention them. Exclusion, removal. They all mean the same actually, but it means different when you apply it to different processes. Reduce. That means now you try to simplify things. So it's very complicated. You simplify it. Okay, it's very complicated. Sometimes it's very complicated because it's decentralized, and you need to centralize it to make it simpler. But it's not always the case. Sometimes decentralizing makes it simpler. Okay, so it depends. It really depends. Yani if you have many people working within each department, okay, if there is a problem here, should they solve it, or should they take it to a higher level, to the head of the department, and that head of the department take it to the department council, and then it takes that to the college, and again the college council, and then it goes back down again, so that we can tell these people this is the solution? Or was it better to empower them so that they can take their decision by themselves? So sometimes centralization, taking the decision at a certain place, is better, but sometimes decentralizing it is much more better. Okay, so there are a lot of things here, but these are the Kaizen steps. Okay, the Kaizen steps, which says that we can eliminate, reduce, or change something which is in the process. We can go even to more and more. These are part of the Kaizen philosophy. The steps that it goes as a PDCA cycle. However, it has the details of that PDCA cycle concept reflected in changing for better, the Kaizen. And wherever you're going to start, document reality, identify waste. Okay, so there is a waste. What to do? Eliminate unnecessary steps. Now check it again. Check the reality. Make the changes. Now we made the changes. We fixed everything. Verify the change. Is it working or is not working? Measure the results. Because how do you know if it's working? You need to see the results. The results, for example, if you have bricks, you put it in place. How to make sure that these bricks are working? You put a load on that brick, as just to see that it is handling on the brick. Now it's working. Standardize the process. What do we mean? The standardize the process. That means you're going to standardize the process without those steps that we have eliminated, because we already had eliminated them. Okay, and of course celebrate success. And do it again and again. And of course, all those standardized processes, you put it in documents so that everyone knows the new process that we have in our system. One of the things that Kaizen has is the five whys plus the 2 how model. As I told you, there are many different concepts within Kaizen. And Kaizen, I just want you to know what is Kaizen, but and maybe we have a case study that is related to Kaizen. But if you're going to talk about, for example, the final exam, if I'm going to bring something about Kaizen, I'm going to bring a multiple choice or something simple. I don't have something in mind now. لا والله ممكن I bring a case study, simple one, like the one with the cup, something like that. And we see how do you use your Kaizen way of thinking. I need to be fair with you because I'm giving you easy steps. So I need to bring a very easy example like the cup thing. Okay, so I'm not planning to bring something more complicated than that. So here, one of the things that you're going to use in mind is you're using the 5 whys, 5 W's, if I would say, and the 2 how model. So 5 the W's that we have here. وين أول واحدة? Okay, why is the step being performed? What work is being performed? Where is the work currently being done? When is the process? Who is performing the work? How is the work done? How often is the process, the step performed? And you already know that you already do something like that. ليش ومتى وين صار ومن المسؤول وشلون صار. You know these interrogation questions that if someone does something wrong and you come and ask him why and how and who did it and when did it happen. So it is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. So they call it the 5 why and the 2 how model. Okay, and you can read about it if you would like. There's a link here. If you can go, you can click this link and you're going to see the 5 whys and the how model that you have. I think so. My time is up, and I was planning to finish this today. The 40 minutes is all short. So we have the 5S model, which is another thing that is to do with Kaizen. But we need to take time with that, which is sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain, and that's all. The 10 basic rules of Kaizen, and we're going to finish up there. So I think so. We are going to take that on Sunday. We're going to start with the 5S model. It's a very similar model. I mean, similar to the ideas that we have taken of the Plan, Do, Check, Act. But now it puts it in a different way. So you put things in order. خلاص, I will explain that on Sunday. Any questions? Any questions about Kaizen? Hello. It was a good session. And I think so we did a good job today. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So see you on Sunday, inshallah. All the best for all of you. يعطيكم العافية وفي أمان الله. مع السلامة.